In examples 2 and 3, we're going to be solving some applications involving proportions, meaning we're going to set up some problems that look identical to what we were doing in example 1. In example 2, we're told that Josiah purchased a new protein powder that provides 21 grams of protein per 8.4 ounce serving. We want to use Symbolab to answer parts A and B, and in part A we're asked, if Josiah makes a 17 ounce protein drink, how many grams of protein will they consume? Let's go back to the original part of the question, where it's telling us that this protein powder delivers 21 grams of protein per 8.4 ounce serving. We're going to use that statement to set up the general form of our proportions in this case. So what we have is some amount of protein, which is measured in grams, per some number of ounces, some size serving. We're going to set up two proportions given the information that we have in part A, set those equal to each other, and solve for the missing piece of information. In part A, we're told that Josiah is making a 17 ounce protein drink. Using the information in the original portion of the problem, back in that original text for example 2, we're told that 21 grams is delivered for every 8.4 ounce serving. That means we're going to set up another proportion that in the numerator also has grams and the denominator also has ounces. We need to identify what information we're given in part A and drop that in. In this case, we're being told he's making a 17 ounce drink. So that's the information that we'll drop in. And then the missing piece of information is X, what we want to solve for. So to come up with our answer to this question, we'll ask Symbolab to solve this proportion. So we'll solve 21 divided by 8.4 is equal to X over 17. And we end up with X is equal to 42.5. 42.5 grams. So if Josiah makes this 17 ounce protein drink, that will deliver 42.5 grams of protein. If Josiah wants to hit a target of 27 grams of protein, as we're told in part B, how many ounces of protein drink should they drink? We're going to start off with the same starting proportion, which is the 21 grams to 8.4 ounces that we were given originally in the problem. Meaning we're going to set up another proportion in terms of grams and ounces. We need to fill in the information that we're given, which in this case is a target of 27 grams of protein. Meaning 27 is what will go in the numerator, and in the denominator, we'll put in an X for that missing piece of information. How many ounces of protein drink should they drink to hit that target value? To come up with that solution, we'll come back to Symbolab and we'll solve 21 over 8.4. I guess I could have left that first portion. Set equal to 27 over X, and we get 10.8. So in order to hit this target goal of 27 grams of protein per day, Josiah needs to drink 10.8 ounces of this protein drink per day. In example 3, we're told that a building casts a shadow that is 32.5 feet long. A person standing next to the building is 5.6 feet tall and casts a shadow that is 5.2 feet long. We want to use Symbolab to determine the height of the building. There are two pieces of information that we're given or that we're curious about for both the building and the person in this case. And we could set this proportion up one of two ways. We could have the length of that object or that person's shadow divided by their height, or we could set it up as height over shadow. Either way would lead us to the same solution as long as we stay consistent with how we set up the problem. We'll set this up as the length of a person or an object shadow divided by their height. And then we'll look at what information we know. We know the building has a shadow that's 32.5 feet long. We know a person is 5.6 feet tall, and their shadow is 5.2 feet long. The missing piece of information is the height of the building. So we can use the height of our person and the length of their shadow to set up our first proportion. And we'll set that equal to the length of the shadow of the building divided by the height of the building. So we have the length of the shadow of the building, which is 32.5 feet, but the missing piece of information is how tall the building is. Now, it's not as clear that we have this information lined up since the units are all the same, but notice that what we have in the numerators of both expressions are the lengths of the shadows, and in the denominators are the heights of the person or the height of the object. So we're staying consistent with where we put that similar information. And then we'll ask Symbolab to solve this proportion for us, which is 5.2 divided by 5.6, set equal to 32.5 over x. And we get a result of x equals 35. Meaning, based off these proportions, we know that this building is 35 feet tall.